would say we were good together. I would say we had fun.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is CeeChronicles and I post fragrance related content on this platform. If you're new, please consider subscribing and joining the family. And if you're returning, thank you so much guys for coming back. A quick shout out to our brand, Macedon Perfumes. We have a second release, number 2, now available on our website as well as here on YouTube for $89. This is our second release and Proud Mary is our very first release. These fragrances were crafted under my direction and I would appreciate your support. The very first one is 120 ml extrait de parfum, followed by this 100 ml extrait de parfum. Proud Mary is a fruity floral incorporating that pineapple at the top as well as some dried fruits, getting into a flawless jasmine, vanilla, tonka and some cardamom, together with some woods and spices with a dash of some patchouli at the base. This is an all year round fragrance and it's unisex. The follow-up fragrance, number 2, simply put, number 2, has notes of peach, nectar, orange blossoms, some chocolate, spices, woods, patchouli, to name but a few. This is a thick concentrated fragrance that's ideal for all year round, very beast performing and will hold its own even in winter. It's also of an extrait concentration and it's going for $89. You can pick the combo up for $199 or you can buy Proud Mary on its own for $149. Now today's video guys, we have some Swiss Arabians and the first one is one that I couldn't wait to get my hands on. Swiss Arabian Shaghaf Nectar Blush, right? This is a decant. You can get it off SWP Health and Beauty, which is Nikki Purposeful Lives company. She's also a fragrance YouTuber here. Now, Swiss Arabian owed us something like this, right? In terms of how citric this fragrance is going to open up with that sweet burst of some citruses. I did take a glimpse of the note pyramid. I was hoping to see something like mandarin orange or some tangerine, but they didn't list that. However, the thing is, the fragrance does remind me of something that I have experienced before. I'm going to tell you that. I hope it doesn't spoil anything. I've also seen comparisons of this fragrance, guys, to Coco Mademoiselle, and granted, yes, I do get a little bit of that, but I would say it leans more towards the intense than the regular Coco Mademoiselle. Now, the notes listed for this are yuzu at the top, some William pear, and the pear is pretty vivid there, together with the yuzu, and yuzu is intense in its citricness. It can borderline do even a little bit too much there in terms of how it presents the citrus, and that is what I'd say I get in this. It is a fruity blast, incorporating as well the black currant. The black currant intensifies the fruitiness in this, right? So you're going to get an intense orange nuance, okay, because of that yuzu. Some of you are just going to detect an orange, just a basic orange or citruses, but sweet citrus is there at the top, and then it gets into that tangy black currant somewhere there, and then it swoops into some floral. So this is a mix of that citrus intensified in florals, particularly that orange blossom, gardenia and neroli. Now neroli is also going to anchor that citrusness, so that is exactly what Swiss Arabian was going for, guys, when it comes to this particular fragrance. It's an intensified citrus with some vanilla, getting into the woods, a little bit of some patchouli for strength, making it such that it doesn't become a flimsy citrus. I personally love this fragrance, but I'm happy that I went the decant route. Now, I did say at the beginning that it does remind me of something, and I said the Coco Mademoiselle Intense. If you love that thickened, intense version of Coco Mademoiselle, you're going to love this. Or if you are into Lattafas and you have put your nose on a fragrance that they gave us in the very first Lattafa Pride collection called The One, then you pretty much have a representation of what this fragrance is doing. The patchouli note in this makes sure that it does last, okay? So it will have that patchouli and a green leaning tonka and a little bit of some woodiness there, giving it longevity. So it's not going to be one of your flimsy citruses. Keeps the quality of the Swiss Arabian fragrances, which are always hype here in terms of how they give us smooth, flawless, concentrated fragrances. The profile could be seen by a lot of people as feminine, but I can see men pulling this off as long as you like your citruses on the thick, sweet side. So I do hope I have helped you guys when it comes to that. Next up is this fragrance. I got this decant from Scent. Scent is also a company that sells decants. You can support them. All you have to do is go on hygcent.com. That's www.hygcent.com, and they will sell you some of these fragrances, guys, in miniature form, where you can then make a decision as to whether you need them in full size or not. So this is Musk 74 Poudre, a 2023 release that's only making it to my channel now. This is all aldehydes and powder in a bottle. Think of makeup, okay? Think of baby powder, think of musk. That is what you are to expect of Musk 74 Poudre. And I like that they didn't beat about the bush when it comes to the naming of this fragrance. So if you're one of those that blind buy fragrances, you pretty much would know what to expect when it comes to this fragrance. So it does open up with that aldehydic accord, which carries through from start to finish. So you've got to like those fragrances. They're like a dated feel, you know, a vintage feel about them. This is going to be nostalgic, reminding you perhaps of some of the fragrances that you grew up around. If you're an 80s baby like myself, my mother used to smell fragrances like this a lot. Fragrances that incorporate aldehydes are going to be fragrances like Chanel No. 5, but this does not vibe like Chanel No. 5. And interesting enough, I do have a fragrance in my collection that this one immediately reminded me of when I sprayed it. And the good news, guys, it's an amouage, okay? Amouage Dia is a fragrance that kind of feels very similar to Musk 74 Poudre by Swiss Arabian. And if you have both, just like myself, please let me know if my nose is directing me in the right direction, you know, comparing this Dia by Amouage to this Musk 74. Now, the brighter side of this is the fact that Amouages are on the expensive side. This is but a 50 ml. I bought this one in a duty-free shop. This is a polarizing fragrance, guys, and that is what to expect from this. Triple dose of musk. So it's musk. And the musk is going to be tying those florals together. There's iris that they have added there to give a powdery accord as well as heliotrope. So they were sticking to the powder here, you know, Swiss Arabian, when it came to Poudre 74, as well as wafts of something that's going to be recreating that note of air. Some of you guys are going to say this reminds you of, simply put, Johnson & Johnson's baby powder, okay? But in a perfumey way, of course, with the lasting power. So if you like your fragrances on the powdery side, musky side, a little bit sweet, but I wouldn't buy this for sweetness because it's all powdery. And the powder seems to just hug everything to just push the agenda of this being a powdery scent. So, and some of you are going to say it feels a little bit dated. It does have those white florals swooshing through, and of course, those aldehydes. So this Swiss Arabian Musk 74 Poudre is going to be a fragrance that's probably going to interest, you know, people of a more mature age, unless you just love the note of powder, you know, on its own. In conclusion, guys, this is a long-lasting fragrance, and as much as I've thrown the word powder over and over again, very long lasting, something that I get in my Amouage Dia. I have just but used a little bit of this fragrance because it is super long lasting. It is a commitment. I wore it at some point as a bedtime scent, and I can tell you guys that I ended up thinking, why did I do this? Because it is really on the strong side, pushing that powdery feel about it. So those are my thoughts, guys, on Musk 74 Poudre. You can get it off the Swiss Arabian website directly. Now, the last one I have for you here is this one. I didn't realize that I hadn't actually done a full review of Shaghaf Oud Abyad, and I think I'm going to hunt down the patchouli one because they have introduced a new one, that patchouli, okay, off their fancy bottles. This is not a new fragrance. This is on my tray, and I just thought of it today while I was about to film the video, and I said, okay, let me just drop it there for some people that may be wondering what it's doing. This is bottled in a white bottle, but do not expect layers of musk in this. This is a heavyweight fragrance, guys. This is an acquired taste. This is not your stepping stone into the oud fragrances. In case you are looking at adding starter oud fragrances in your collection, this is just a beast mode heavy hitter, oudy, inky style of a scent. It's got a smoky accord to it. It's also very woodsy there, with some myrrh, some amber, concentration of heavyweight notes, some leather, and some sandalwood. The sandalwood in here is not soft, so it doesn't save Shaghaf Oud Abyad from the heavy weightness of everything that happens in here. All the notes that have been put in here, guys, are to build a very thick, concentrated, winter toned style of a fragrance. It has that myrrh, that apoponax, and a lot going on at the same time. Very Middle Eastern toned. It does share a likeness to that Amouage interlude for men. Amouage interlude for men, I emphasize, because Amouage has got the interlude for women. If you buy the interlude for women, you'll think, oh my God, this is such a nice, nutty scent, beautifully done there with softened woods. The men's one, that is doing the complete opposite. And that's exactly what this fragrance is doing. So do not let the color of the bottle mislead you into thinking, okay, I'm going to be adding another musky scent here, lotiony, powdery, that sort of thing. The color of the bottle is just the color of the bottle. This is heavyweight woods, very much similar to Amouage interlude Perfumes, almost similar. I want to say of some of the clones that I have smelled of the interlude men, this one is pretty flawless. Okay, I have come here with an Astaf clone, if I'm not mistaken, and a Maison Alhambra clone. Those were sort of like at par, like 101 with the Amouage one, the way what it's doing. This I find a little bit softened there. It does really, relent a little bit after the first hour or so, and it's one of those that is going to be value for money in terms of longevity, if you want that wears fragrances for longevity. But the oud in this is going to be communicating, it's going to be inky. Some of you are going to say it's stanky, some are even going to say it's banyadi. It really depends, but it also is a sweetened fragrance overall, so not bad. If you are looking for something that's going to last a great while, do try to get yourself a decant or a full-size bottle of this one. It's not a new fragrance. The new one that I'm hunting of the Swiss Arabian line is going to be the patchouli one, which is off those beautiful bottles. And as soon as I have that, I'm going to bring it to you here. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we discuss more about fragrances. Remember to turn on post notifications. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one, guys, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.